Arizona hosts the Washington Huskies today, and both teams, of course, looking for wins at 3-3. This could be quite a swing for either team based on where they think they'll be at the end of the year. Arizona's going to have to do a couple things well. The first thing is I think the secondary has to play well simply because I don't expect Arizona's pass rush to just find itself against this team, even though the Huskies do have a pretty mangled offensive line. Keith Price is going to have a little bit of time. So Arizona's cornerbacks, safeties, even bandit spurs, linebackers who drop into coverage are going to have to play out of their minds to at least make Keith Price not go deep and to limit what Washington's doing that way. Their run game isn't that good, so that's not as big of a concern. Another thing Arizona must do on the other side of the ball would be, simply put, just keep doing what they did against Stanford. Of course, the result wasn't there, but Arizona put up a ton of yardage just because they spread them out early, and then that opened up a lot of across-the-middle type games, 10 to 15-yard routes. Johnny Jackson was a guy who really took advantage of that, caught a lot of balls across the middle, was targeted a bunch because simply Stanford's defense was spread thin and it didn't have the speed to recover when he made his cuts across the middle. So I think Arizona can do that again against a defense that's pretty good, but similarly to Stanford's is pretty good against pro-style attacks rather than the Oregons and the Arizona spreads. And then finally, Arizona just needs to take advantage of the home crowd. We've saw some tough losses this year, especially to Stanford and then Oregon State game, of course. They need to get the crowd into it early, keep them into it with big plays, whether that's based on play calling or just a player making plays, remains to be seen. But they need to take advantage of it and ride that momentum because, as we've seen, there's been too many tough losses this early in the year to sustain for the Wildcats. So a win would be nice, and of course that home crowd will be a huge advantage this week.